Hey, what's up everybody? Pen here. Welcome back to the channel. So you guys are getting multiple uploads for today. So this is going to be, answering a few questions, regarding the LG OLEDs that I own, what you can do with them, what I recommend. And this one viewer slash reporter called Mr. ARB, and it states, a bit confused for normal PC uses as a monitor. What mode is best for gaming? I know Game Optimizer does the work. For normal uses, what's to use? Question mark. Okay, so I talk about in the previous video where I'm always in Game Optimizer when I'm usually on my PC, which you see here, that NVIDIA G-Sync VRR. That's due to a firmware update. It just looks cleaner and it lets me know that my hardware and my software setup is working as it's intended. Now, I'm always in Game Optimizer mode because usually when I'm on PC, especially when I'm planning on gaming, I plan on gaming in either Auto HDR, HDR, or if the game doesn't support it at all, I'm in SDR, right? Now, what mode to use if you're just browsing the internet or you're doing some type of editing or whatever, you're not gaming. So the mode that you would want to use, you can play with the ISF presets. The OLEDs come with presets already done by LG themselves. It's quite a bit of presets here. I recommend if you're in a bright environment, go with a bright space, daytime. As you can see, I'm in a dark environment. There's still light outside, but those are blackout curtains. But when it's light outside, the light is still going to show through in some instances, but it's to help with the lighting situation in your room, pretty much. But if I choose this, the screen brighten up a bit. You probably couldn't see that on camera, so I'm going to do dark space night, which is what I use for SDR everything when it comes to non-gaming. As you can see, the screen darkened on camera. So depending on your space and your usage, some people, they use their OLEDs in basement environments where there's little to no windows and they have a calibration set, or their settings are ideal for a dark space environment. Some people have been using OLEDs in a bright space. I only recommend it if you can get the light control down in your space, but I would use these. You can use filmmaker mode, but it's not needed. Sports wouldn't be necessarily needed for browsing the web or doing PC monitor usage. Cinema, APS, the screensaver, the power save, all that. Standard is another good setting to where you can adjust it to your taste. But if you want to use a LG OLED outside of Game Optimizer when you're just doing anything other than gaming, you have the option to go in here, and I would just stick to the presets and then I will adjust it to your taste. Or you can watch my videos on my latest SDR, HDR, and Dolby Vision settings, and you can see why I integrate the ISF presets depending on what I'm doing. And my favorite one is the dark space night, because majority of time when I'm using the OLEDs, I'm in a darker room, as you can see. Okay, so this is going to be another question from another viewer slash supporter. Sorry that I forgot to jot down your name, but this is in direct response to you. So I hope you are watching and paying attention. So it says, I watch the anime episodes. I have the LG C2 screen, and the episodes and movies are playing in very, very high quality. But I cannot watch without subtitles, and with the same anime, I cannot follow without translating the episodes. Accepted in what you do if you have and that was the end of that comment. But there was another one where it says, can I do more and more on the LG C2 screen? I want the screen to support all video formats such as MKV, and other video formats, and I want to make it accept all subtitle lines. Is there a way to make it so perfect like Android? So the thing is, I'm going to be transitioning to my 65 inch because I have a external 4 terabyte drive by Western Digital plugged directly into the television in one of the USB 3.0 ports. And going to get to that. There's some pros and cons, with that setup, with using the LG C2 natively for playing your content as opposed to hooking up a external streaming device such as a Fire Stick 4K, an OnBox, a Roku, a NVIDIA Shield, just to name some examples of some devices I've owned that I've used and I have experience with. And there's pros and cons to it. So I'm going to transition to the 65 inch and we're going to get started. Okay, so this is the 65 inch LG C2, and I just have my external drive plugged directly into the television. So I have Dolby trailers, I have TV shows, for an example, and I have 4K movies. Now, here's the thing with this. I've noticed prior to recording this that natively, there is, at least on this MKV, because I've tested this out with my NVIDIA Shield, and I tested this with the external drive plugged directly into the television. With LG C2 OLED, the media player, the native application, when you plug in a USB device, it's not giving me the true HD 7.1 audio support on my John Wick movie. I have 2 examples in there just for testing purposes and experimentation on this video. Instead, it does give me the Dolby audio because on my Vizio 5.1.2 system, when I go to the setup information on the remote and it tells me what audio is playing, it says Dolby Audio, Dolby Digital Plus, but it does not state Dolby True HD. And it's not giving me that Atmos flag on my sound setup, that's green light, which will indicate that it is properly playing the audio. So that is one of the downsides of this setup. And this is just my personal experience, but I wouldn't recommend this way personally. But as far as the anime is concerned, I have an example of Boruto, like one of the latest episodes. I just grabbed a quick example here so I could display it. So I'm just going to start it, and I'm just going to show you that with an MKV file from the latest fan sub sites, when it comes to the underground work of this, they do indeed play on this television. So I'm going to pause it, and I'll be right back. Okay, I had to pause the video because I did not want to play and risk the copyright. But this is a still image of one of the latest Boruto episodes. I have no clue what's going on in the anime because after Naruto ended, I started it, but it sort of fell off for me. But as you can see, it says, "Were you listening, old man?" It has that giant subtitle font, and it is clearly working natively on the LG OLED. So rest assured that as long as you know how to get your content, where to find your content, however you do it, if you prefer to rip from the disk, that's totally your business. If you have these type of files on a flash drive or an external hard drive, when you plug in that USB to the TV directly, natively, the OLED does support the MKV with the subtitles. So for those of you that like your subtitle shows, you may watch a foreign language. In my experience with my testing so far, limited testing, because I stream from NVIDIA Shields when it comes to my OLED experience. So that's different. It does work natively. So that is pretty cool. So as long as you know where to get the content, then that's all fine and dandy. For those of you that's wondering how you can pull this off, you're free to contact me and we can set up like a 1v1 and we can get you started with this if this is the route that you want to go. Now, I'm going to get into the route of the John Wick. I'm not going to play too much of it because of copyright. And I'm just going to show you that it's possible, but it gives that message where it says the audio is not supported. Okay, back at the main menu of the media player on the LG C2 OLED. And for those of you that know, it's just easier to show this on my 65-inch as opposed to the 42 OLED that I have on the desk. But I'm going to go to my 4K movies. And as you can see, I only have two examples. John Wick from 2014 and John Wick 2 from 2017. You know, these are one-to-one copies that you will find on the 4K Blu-ray disc. And it's a one-to-one copy in terms of the video and audio quality only. Now, when I click on this, it says it right here. This video does not support audio. Okay? Now, what that means is that it's not going to play without any sound. That simply means that it's going to convert it down to Dolby Audio, Dolby Digital Plus. That's exactly what that means. So it means that when you are getting your one-to-one rips, or if you are acquiring your content in another method where it is the one-to-one MKV, the remux or remux, however you want to announce it, things like that, it would not play with true HD audio 7.1 when a USB or an external drive is plugged directly into the television. That's just what I'm seeing in my personal experience. And crazy because usually the OLEDs have been having issues with DTS, but the True HD 7.1, I did not expect that upon doing the test originally, but it is what it is. Now, are you still getting the surround sound effect? Yeah, your surround speakers will still, do what they have to do, but there is a downside with this method. There is a downside with this method, ladies and gentlemen. So as long as you're comfortable with that, then that's all fine and dandy. So to answer your question, you can play back things in MKV. It's just going to vary depending on what is the source of the media. Now, I haven't tested music or anything like that. I use my streaming services. I'm subscribed to Tidal for the uncompressed, the master audio, the Dolby Atmos. And I also have Spotify on the side. But as far as video content, I am liking what I'm seeing. It plays the anime well. And the movies, it gets the job done. It just isn't the best audio. So as far as what the OLEDs are capable of, when it comes to a general format of content, it plays the content. I've only tried MKV. It works. There's just some caveats with it when it comes to the movies. So that's about it. That wraps up this video. Hope you guys understand why I did it in this format. This is Penn signing out. Thank you for watching and peace out, okay?